Hey everybody, stop what you're doing and let's argue about conditional finality for a few minutes. No joke, this may erupt into an argument, but I found myself feeling really curious lately as to how the community feels in general about this exotic in D2, especially in PvP. I'm kinda on the fence, but I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. But first, a quick shout out to Starforge, sponsor of today's video and the best PCs in the damn galaxy. All their PCs are made by hand, delivered quickly, and come with a 2-year warranty. They're also the only people awesome enough to advertise on a 1-minute video, so you know they're the good kind of crazy. Check out my link in the pinned comment to see their incredible selection of PCs. For real, they are fantastic. Alright, back to the content. Let's start from the beginning. If you're new to D2 or whatever, this is Conditional Finality, an exotic shotgun that can be obtained if you have good RNG after defeating the final boss in the Root of Nightmares raid. In my opinion, Conditional Finality is one of, if not the best raid exotic weapons we've ever been given in the history of the game. It's way up there. In PvE, Conditional strongly excels at major killing, able to not only pack a wallop from up close, but to both freeze and ignite enemies via its unique trait. But I think the area of the game where Conditional has made the most notable impact has probably been PvP. If you've played any PvP at all lately, and especially if you've stepped into trials, you might have seen this weapon kind of a lot. On its own, Conditional has pretty good punching power and has a one-shot kill range consistent with other top-tier shotties in PvP. Actually, it falls a little bit short in terms of one-hit kill range compared to other god roll shotties if they happen to have opening shot, which many of them do. What Conditional does bring to the table, however, is the ability to absolutely clown a ton of supers, most notably Warlock Radiant Well and Titan Bubble, probably two of the most popular supers to bring into trials. Of course, even in the neutral game, if you get a really fortunate spread and connect with the majority of your shoddy pellets, you can completely shaft players, and of course the shatter effect can also lead to interesting multi-kills on nearby players who weren't even frozen by the gun to begin with. It also pairs incredibly well with the Ice Flare Bolt aspect, and the gun has pretty gross handling to begin with, but yeah, mainly the first two things are kicking up dust in PvP. I've heard a lot of people calling for the nerf of this shotgun, specifically on the PvP front, and for the record, I totally get it. However, I don't know if I want this gun to get the axe. It's clearly very damn good, but to a degree, I also feel like nerfing Conditional Finality would be the same as intentionally removing a predator out of an area of the wild where it's one of the sole things keeping the population of another species in check. What I mean by that is, even with the existence of Conditional Finality, the vast majority of supers I see in trials, which has now become 100% zone trials by the way, are both Warlock Well and Titan Bubble. I can only imagine that if Conditional gets nerfed, Bubble and Well usage is probably going to go up even more. And because zone trials matches generally go faster than elimination trials matches, and because Bubble and Well are tier 5 supers, you often don't get enough time to counter those supers with other supers. You just got to rely on what you got in the neutral game, at least for the most part anyway. There are some ways to shut down Well and Bubble in trials in the neutral game, but again, none of them are so straightforward and immediately apparent as Conditional Finality. I really do get the frustration from either viewpoint. Bubble mains are probably pissed off that the mere existence of one gun almost completely throws a wrench into their entire battle plan. Then again, simply getting your super fast because it has the best cooldown and winning a round and potentially the game of trials by just beelining to the cap point and popping your super isn't much of a battle plan. Then again, should one weapon be so good in the meta that it almost completely overshadows every other option in that archetype, then again, aren't exotics supposed to be good and unique and fun to use? But then again, at what point does a really fun, good exotic cross the line? It's a lot to think about. I think for me, I'm leaning towards I would prefer them to not change or nerf Conditional Finality, both because I really enjoy it and because I think without it, Trials would devolve into even more of a tier 5 super hellscape fest than it already is. But that being said, if Bungie did decide to nerf the gun, I absolutely 100% not be surprised at all and would shift my loadouts in PvP accordingly Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Really though, I'm actually putting this out there because I genuinely want to read the comment section and hear feedback on this. Yeah, you heard me right. A YouTuber wants to read the comment section. Trust me, I know how wild that sounds. I know what I'm getting into, kind of, but I legit want to know, what are your feelings on conditional finality, especially in PvP? By the way, this should be the final video I've thrown together from my first vacation in 2 years, which I should now be officially back from. Boo. Hopefully I've at least got a sunburn and a bunch of gaps in my memory. Come by the stream and ask me about it. Or better yet, tell me your feelings on conditional finality. Legit, I want to hear them. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.